Hello, my dudes and dudettes, my pals and gals. How's it going today? It is Ramen and Tyler here today, and we are doing another section of our video podcast.
Welcome to the Drunk Ron Storytime Podcast, episode 2 of the video podcast. And as my friend TY said, I'm Ramen. This is my partner in crime, TY, and this is a podcast where two dudes who like DC and the other one likes Marvel make a podcast.
Yes, very much so.
And with that being said, cue that funky intro.
And we are back.
We are back. That was an intro made by yours truly, and wasn't that an awesome intro, even though you can't really see it?
It's okay.
Actually, funny story is, I was texting him I guess when this comes out.
It'll be 2 weeks ago.
I was texting this dude 2 weeks ago about the podcast intro, and I sent him it. I made it last night before I went to bed because I was extremely tired. And I think it came out pretty good.
Oh yeah, I think it did too.
So we kind of have this like yellow versus blue thing on our podcast. And you know what? I think we might wear yellow and blue shirts if we can find one, because I think that keeps the theme of this podcast.
I have plenty of blue shirts.
Yeah, I just gotta find a yellow one. I might buy one, but sort of like this yellow versus blue thing on our podcast, because different colors, different opinions. So... So we have a lot to talk about. And keep us on track, we actually have a notepad open.
Yes,
so that way we can keep on track and then we can stay focused. So the first thing we're going to talk about is favorite YouTube series, whether it's YouTube Red or your... I think
regular, ordinary YouTube,
normal. It can even be a YouTube Red movie, because, I mean... Most of them
it could be literally whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, it could be whatever you guys want. So, my buddy TY is going to go first.
Alright, so, I've got to say, for favorite YouTube series at the moment, I mean, I know I haven't watched any Halo or anything, I haven't played Halo, but I really, really just love Red vs. Blue on YouTube. Rooster Teeth has done an amazing job with Red vs. Blue on YouTube. It is just chock full of hilarious jokes and just it's amazing.
I've seen like gameplays and like clips of it. I know it's pretty good. I never really sat down and actually watched one.
Oh, you really should.
I'm like, so they use like,
especially towards the later seasons, it's getting great because now they're actually getting into motion capture and doing some really awesome stuff.
So, like, before, was it non-motion capture?
No, it was just gameplay of the game.
And they just, like, goofed around and, like...
Oh, yeah, and it's so funny. Like, you'll go on there and you see, like, they're taking prisoners, but they still have to have the gun in their hand. So, like, the prisoner has, like, a pistol in their hand, and they're just, like, taking the prisoner over to their base and whatnot, and it's just so funny. Like, they can't use the gun, but just the look of it, it's just great.
Oh, man. Yeah, I gotta watch it. You ever play Halo?
I have played Halo. I played one game, and that was it. I played Halo Reach, and that was all. And I heard Halo Reach is probably one of the better ones out there, so.
Halo Reach, Halo 3, and Halo 3 is the most iconic one. It's like one of the best games people talk about.
Didn't that wrap up the whole Master Chief storyline?
Halo 4 is the one that wrapped up. Yeah. The new one, Halo Chief,
Halo Chief?
Halo Chief. The new one coming out, I think Master Chief Returns or something like that. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I heard people weren't the biggest fans of 4 and 5.
No, people weren't a fan of 5. I don't think Master Chief was in 5.
Didn't Bungie stop working on Halo after after Halo 3?
No, they kept on going up until 5, but 5 did not do so good, which is why they had to make that Master Chief collection, and they had to bundle all the games inside there.
Yeah.
5 is not a good game. 5 is okay, but there's too much difference. There's too much stuff changed up, and I don't think Master Chief is in 5. Which
probably not.
No, Master Chief's an iconic
He's an iconic character of the Halo franchise.
Without him, the entire, thing. But the appeal about Halo is the online mode. I mean, you can ignore the story, but the online mode is what people play it for.
Right. Okay. So I just want to put this out as a premise. So you've never watched Red versus Blue, like you said. You've seen it's a bits of clips of stuff and things in there.
I know there's characters that are red in Halo and
so
are blue.
I just want to say probably one of my favorite fun facts about the series. And they probably don't learn this about themselves till season 5 or 6 or something like this. I don't really remember. But pretty much the basis of Red versus Blue is it's 2 teams of simulation troopers are what they're called. They're simulation troopers. And the simulation troopers, they're stupid. They're just plain stupid. Sarge is dumb. I think the only smart one in there is Simmons. Simmons is the only smart person in there, and that's about it. You got Simmons, you got Griff, who is the regular lazy dumbass of the group. You have Lopez, which is the Spanish-speaking robot that nobody can understand because nobody can speak Spanish.
That's my favorite character.
You got Sarge, the take charge Leroy Jenkins of the group.
Leroy Jenkins. Remember when that was a big thing? Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins, exactly. Yeah. One of his battle strategies was, guys, let's run in a straight line right into the base, one after one another. That way, they can't see the back of the line and they don't know how many people we have. But sir, then they'll just mow us down. Well, I'll be at the back, so I'll know when to retreat.
Why do I feel like your brother's gonna come here and tell us to shut up? Like you did last time, bro.
So, that's Sarge. And then on the blue team, you have Tucker, the ladies' man, quote unquote, the one that says, oh yeah, he knows pretty much everything about everything when it comes to girls. What the heck? Oh my gosh. You have Church, who actually seems like he has some sort of military experience. You have Caboose. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to go into the YouTube red zone of this is offensive, but he's just plain stupid.
He's got a big caboose.
He's just plain stupid.
He's got a caboose. He's got a big caboose. Caboose.
I don't even know how to explain Caboose. He's
stupid. They say he's stupid.
He might just have a mental disability as his character, but I'm not sure. But I love him. He's my favorite character, so don't think I'm dissing on him. He is literally my favorite character.
I think every TV show needs to have token characters. There has to be the stupid one, the smart one, the cool one, and the ladies' man's one. There's only a certain number of traits you can create. Every character essentially in every movie is a token. Cool, ladies' man, dumb, smart. There's only so many traits you can take.
Right.
There's not enough traits.
And then you have Sheila the talking tank.
That's a new one right there.
That's a new one.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah. So, blue team has their own armaments and stuff like that. So the tank is their special weapon. And then red team has the chupa thingy, which is a warthog. And the running joke in that is the warthog doesn't look like a warthog. It looks like a puma.
Okay. I gotta charge my laptop.
You gotta charge your laptop? Bro.
I have my charger.
You're bad.
He's gonna be on camera when I get my charger. We call these technical difficulties because...
Roll the clip.
Are you gonna put that little thing in there? You don't have to edit that. It's raw footage. Don't even do it.
And the clip is just we are having technical difficulties. Please hold.
No, it's just me plugging in my laptop.
Oh
but yeah, keep talking.
So, yeah, definitely one of my favorite characters has to be Sheila, because she's hilarious, just plain hilarious. But yeah, was that the beep from your laptop?
Yep-a-rooney.
That's weird. Mine doesn't do that.
Well, mine's a loud laptop.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's more. Oh, I almost forgot about one of the more iconic characters that gets introduced in season like 2 or 3. Tex. Agent Texas, complete badass. Just gotta say. Complete badass. She is like, I don't even know how to explain it. She is just like, she's awesome.
So as the season goes on, I'm assuming they use motion capture, and I'm assuming that's easier than having to use in-game models and like screen record it.
So I'm assuming that actually in-game models and screen recording is easier than motion capture, because with motion capture you have a lot of other extraneous things that you have to do along with it, like you have to track and stuff. So
No.
like they have tracking suits and stuff like that, and that's cool. And you got to put the models over top of that, which that's not that bad either.
I think
But
motion tracking has gotten to be a little easier with I think there's like softwares that are like integrated and they're easy to use, because all you really need is like that green suit, which can be uncomfortable with all the balls because those are tracking balls. And I think you also need to have like, they put like tracking markers on your face to track like facial movements. That's how motion tracking is. And I would assuming getting all that off and like taking off the suits is bad. But I don't know how Red vs. Blue does it. Maybe they do like 3 episodes and like they bulk them up.
Pretty much all they do is they take footage from the game, is what they do. And I mean, the way that you can tell if someone's talking is they'll be moving their head up and down. Like they'll do this, and that's about it. That's all that they really have to do. So, and they will record the gameplay. Actually,
I'm assuming
now that I think about it, I think they record it in spectator mode.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Because it's not a first person recording.
Oh, because in spectator mode you can move the camera.
Correct. It's like a world camera.
You have a free camera. You can
exactly. So they get their camera angles by doing that.
Yeah, that's.
Sometimes they will include like they'll say, "Oh yeah, check the cameras in the suits," and then it'll show you the typical Halo heads-up display and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean,
again, they can always just use motion capture and get a 3D model and just overlay it. And
yeah, I actually, now that you're saying that might actually just be easier to motion capture.
Because
but
3D
it's
models
just such a staple of the show that they continue with it.
What if they made a live action version of it where they can use actually Halo costumes?
You know what? They actually did. They do these things called PSAs, and in one of the PSAs, the Red versus Blue were trying to fix their teleporter, and at the exact same time as they were walking through the teleporter, in the real world, the producer flipped a light switch or whatever it was to shut the power off to stop Red versus Blue or whatnot. And since they did it at the same time, it put Red versus Blue into the real world. And you had Sarge, you had Simmons, Griff, and I think, who else? Caboose was there. So all 4 of them got transported into the real world, and they have costumes for all of them. So they can do stuff IRL.
Gotcha. Now the show, how many episodes are there? I'm interested.
There is about, I want to say, they're only like 5 to 10 minute long episodes, but there's about like 15 to 20 episodes per season, and there's 17 full seasons right now. I would say 16 because 14 is really, it doesn't do anything to move the story along.
I think I might start watching this show because eventually I want to get to the point where I can make like YouTube documentaries, like little short essay videos, and like talk about YouTubers. Like eventually I want to make a documentary on Smosh and how they changed the platform, and like how they were pioneers in their field. And I just want to make essays about YouTubers, and I think Red vs. Blue, Smosh, PewDiePie.
Oh, Red vs. Blue is amazing.
PewDiePie. I just want to do a bunch of like essays on YouTubers at some point. That's in the future, once I have more subs. But subs aren't matter. I really don't care about subs. I just care about people watching my vids. That's it.
So,
but no, if I think my favorite YouTube series has got to be the Matt Pat's
Game Lab.
I just like Matt Pat's Game Lab because he takes like stunts from video games and he like
Oh my
attempts to
gosh.
do them. You have Jovenshire from Smosh. I think Atomic Mari. I think Flitz. I mean, it's essentially him working with the Smosh game. Is it Smosh Game Bang or
Smosh Games Gang.
Smosh Games group? Like you have all these people from Smosh that play games, helping Matt Pat attempt these stunts. And while the stunts aren't that big in scale, like I think they did one with Mirror's Edge where
that's probably the most memorable one in my opinion. It's can gamers survive the real Mirror's Edge?
and I think they did like an obstacle course where they'll have to like
Oh yeah.
hardcore and like I guess it was pretty good. I mean, like I think I've seen like 3 episodes, but I'm like I have to watch this series.
There's not really that many episodes to it. I think there's like 10 or 12.
But I'm like, what other Game Lab episodes? What other games did they try to do? Like
Rainbow Six Siege.
Did Rainbow Six Siege? Did he play Mario ones? Because I didn't make it that.
No, I don't think they did Mario.
Probably,
Not to my knowledge, no.
But no.
But Rainbow Six Siege was actually a very interesting one because they pit real life Marines up against gamers. And the gamers actually were doing very good communication wise in taking out the Marines. Like, obviously the Marines won because they actually had this special training. But gamers are like, they are on a scary, even level.
I guess years of Call of Duty and Hot Pockets really
Like,
made the gamers.
If you don't think about it, you don't think that, okay, yeah, sure, gamers, they sit around, they play video games all day, they don't really know much. But communication skills between gamers, especially in a competitive setting, is phenomenal.
Yeah, communication in video games, I think that's what helps elevate help elevate their team and like.
Right. Now, obviously, being able to communicate in a silent manner, like with your hand signals and stuff that the Marines and stuff like that, they know. That is a great benefit. That way you're not calling out what moves you're doing in the battlefield.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with the gamers just doing what they know how to do, I mean, they were doing great.
No, I agree. Here's the thing about YouTube Red shows that you don't know, and I've been watching like video essays on YouTube Red shows. YouTube gives creators the money for these shows. Creators don't put any of their money in. YouTube gives them the money, and they have a certain amount of episodes they make. And if that show does well, YouTube will
continue to go.
YouTube will make another season and give you more funding.
Just like Scare PewDiePie.
I think just like Scare PewDiePie. How many seasons did that last?
I think that one lasted 4 or 5 seasons. That one actually lasted quite a bit, and that one was very good.
Because
I enjoyed that.
I remember listening to a Reddit link. They have a podcast, and they said something about like YouTube was paying them to make like shows. They were doing their normal shows, but there was a time where they had to change the formula for their shows, and they had to film like about maybe 10 segments or 10 segments a day in order to get a new video out every day. And I think at that point they were getting tired of it, and viewers can tell that the videos didn't have the same pace as their older videos.
Right.
And YouTube kept giving them money, and at some point they just stopped and went back to their old formula. They now have their own company, so they're well off. They have their own
Linker.
They have their own merch. They recently bought Smosh, not even so long ago. I actually kind of want to talk about that controversy because what's the studio that had Smosh? Was it Maker?
I don't know.
Was it Maker? It wasn't Maker Studios, right?
I don't know.
Maker Studios is Disney. Not Maker Studios. Whatever studio was it? Because it also affected Matt Pat because he also was owned by the studio. Essentially, I can't remember the studio. So once we find out what studio, I actually gotta look it up. I can't.
He can't go without knowing, guys.
Sorry.
Anyways, what that original studio was doing was stupid. Just very stupid. So that's pretty much what he was trying to get at. And with Rhett and Link buying them, it's great because they are thriving now at this point. They can pretty much go back to doing whatever the heck they wanted to do instead of doing what the studio wanted them to do.
Okay. So, I'm looking.
You don't
for
know?
It. I
Still don't know?
Keep going. I'm trying to look for it.
Okay. So, with Game Lab, I want to think. I don't remember. Honestly, I have to say Mirror's Edge and Rainbow Six Siege were the only two that I really remember. That's got to be it. I know they were saying when they went to the Rainbow Six Siege one, because you know how Blitz has his flashbang shield and stuff like that, the riot shield.
Mm.
They say they don't use that stuff too often, only in very specified scenarios.
Yes. Yes, Game Lab was pretty good. Do you want me to talk about this little controversy? We're just going to call it the Mystery Network because I can't find it without doing deep research on it. At some point, I will. But let's just call it the Mystery Network. So, the Mystery Network owned both Smosh, they owned MatPat. They had a whole ton of studios under their belt. And which is why Smosh, the Game Time with Smosh crew and the Smosh cast were always separate. Those were two separate channels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you'll never see them together sometimes. So what the studio did is that every time Smosh had an idea for a sketch, they would always have to go to them. And if they didn't approve it, that sketch would not be made.
Right.
Smosh,
and that is so stupid.
Smosh did not have the freedom to make the sketches they wanted to make because of the studio they were under. And MatPat, I think, was under the studio too, because I remember MatPat talking about that the studio stole a lot of money from him and Smosh.
No, well, maybe, but I know MatPat was talking about MCNs and how devilish that they are.
Do not.
Because I will say, no matter how many offers I get for if we were to get them for our channel, and I have gotten some for my older channel. Don't get me wrong, and I mean, I don't really use my older channel anymore.
This is the main channel.
I will never accept a deal with an MCN.
We are partners.
If you don't know what that is, by the way, that stands for multi-channel network.
What they do is they promise you all these. They promise you a lot.
They do. They really promise you a lot.
What they do is they underdeliver on that promise, and every time you make a video, they take the cut of that video. And you earn half of that revenue, which means if you weren't in that MCN, you wouldn't have the full amount of money you were supposed to receive on that video. But what an MCN does is that it removes copyright, so you can use any clip from any movie or anything.
No, not necessarily.
I mean,
you're not completely free of copyright.
You're not completely free of copyright because sometimes you will have to dispute it. The MCN will go and have to fight that dispute.
I mean, you think about it like a union, like. You join it, you have perks, you have disadvantages. I mean, there's everything. We
would never join an MCN.
No, I will never.
We are both partners in this business, and that anything that I do, I will go through him. And anything that we
have to mutually agree on something to actually put it into place.
We are doing what Red and Link do. We're trying to start our own business so that we won't have to be monetized by an MCN. Maybe at some point we will get merch. We will make our own line. But this is way deep in the future.
That's only if people want that type of stuff. And I'm not going to go and push that upon other people. I will only do it if we get enough people saying, hey, I want merch. Where's the merch at?
Yeah. And I think if I was going to come up with merch, it'd probably be like maybe our cartoon two heads, or maybe we have like a custom logo with words, and maybe
we will probably have something like that. But I mean, at this point, I'm not exactly sure because obviously we're not thinking about it.
We're not. The thing is, Smosh was under this MCN, and the only reason they were under this is because Anthony, who left Smosh, gave the company. The company bought Smosh out for no money. Anthony literally gave the company to the MCN without any pay. So they didn't receive any money out of it. So Anthony made that mistake, and not to fault Anthony on it, but at the time Smosh were small, so when they heard all these promises, they took it. They just ran with it.
Of course. And I mean, we are here to learn from other people's mistakes, as we do not want history to repeat itself.
Because now Smosh is doing great.
Oh,
but
yeah.
during that studio time, when they were under that studio, you can tell Anthony wasn't in the videos much. And for some reason, there were ads being placed in the beginning of the videos. And that was only because the MCN wanted it. The MCN forced Smosh to create segments for their show, and it was segments that they did not want. And
right.
They were forced to also split the channels in half. So there was a game channel, and there was a main channel. Those they were not allowed to meet half the time. This also happened to a channel called Warp Zone. Because Warp Zone, I don't know if you heard of Warp Zone.
Nope.
They actually, Mythical Entertainment, Red and Link also bought them. Because Warp Zone and Smosh work side by side. So Red and Link also bought Warp Zone because they make amazing video game sketches. There's some Halo 1, they do Overwatch, do a lot of things. They do work with a lot of YouTubers. They were also bought by an MCN. Because their channel was also shut down too, as well as Smosh.
You want to know what channel being shut down I was very upset about? Battle Universe.
Battle Universe. I have never heard of that
You
one.
never heard of Battle Universe? They did a lot of Nerf battle type things, and the only reason it got shut down was because of COVID.
I can tell by that, yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, I understand why they shut it down, but at the same time, I mean, I'm upset that it's gone.
Yours are weird because most studios still work. Like Smosh and Red and Link, they still work, but they have like masks and they have like mandatory like quarantine checks. So they're still able to work as long as they wear their mask.
Right.
Now they can't wear a mask when they're making sketches
Obviously.
because that just takes.
That's kind of a
no, but they're
thing
like,
that comes with the business.
They have to be monitored at all times though.
Right.
Red and Link has strict rules about that.
Yeah, like I said, and they get COVID tested probably at least twice a week.
Yeah. Mythical Entertainment is probably like top tier companies out there. And like I'm glad they bought Smosh and they bought Warp Zone. I don't know what other companies they bought, but I know that those are the two companies. And like Red and Link just started out like two guys just sitting in front of like a desk just talking about like random stuff.
Right.
And like it like evolved into them like having their own thing.
Right.
So
Pretty
something
much.
that we want to try to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Share the YouTube love, everybody.
Share the Red and Link, they're our guides. And if we ever get a video conference with Red and Link, I would lose my mind. They're like my favorite like YouTubers.
Oh my gosh.
Man. They're like so.
I haven't watched. Let me just get this straight. I haven't watched Rhett and Link in a hot minute.
I listen to their podcast Ear Biscuit on Spotify, and it's the funniest podcast because they go over topics that are like so out of the ordinary and so like related. And some of the podcasts, they talk about life, and they also talk about like related stuff, like even like stuff about their episodes. They go into a lot of details about their like videos and how they make them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have a huge crew behind them.
Interesting.
Yeah. Ear Biscuit. I don't know if you ever listened to a podcast before, but no.
No, I've never listened to their podcast before.
I think the only. How did we start this podcast? So somebody offered. I think somebody said, "Should we do a podcast?" Because we had no intentions of doing a podcast.
No, we initially never had the intention of doing a podcast.
No, I think one of your friends said.
Oh, yeah. One of my friends had said something about being on the channel with us.
And then he said something about podcasts. I'm like, yeah, I think that will work. Because at the time, I've been listening to podcasts, and I fucking love podcasts.
I mean, they're great for the drive. They're great for work.
I listen. What you guys don't know is that when I make
I like NSFWs.
I like Ear Biscuit, Smoshcast. They also have their own podcast where they go over the controversy of what happened to their studio, and they talk about why Anthony left. I mean, they release new episodes some point of the week. Smoshcast is probably the best one. I wonder when Anthony's gonna come back to Smosh, or I don't know why he just doesn't make an appearance on Smosh.
I have no idea.
I find it weird, bro.
I haven't watched Smosh in a hot minute either.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I love Smosh, but I don't think I've checked out any of it. I checked out their Every Blanks Ever, but that's pretty much it. Their Try Not to Laughs are pretty funny, but I don't have time to watch those videos like I want to.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're busy people.
Smosh movie. Which which one's the better one? Ghostmates or Smosh the movie? Which one is less cringy?
I like the Ghostmates.
Oh,
I really love Ghostmates. I love the way that he died in that movie.
Ghostmates is good, except for the fact that the cringy part is where Anthony was talking to that girl. That's the only thing that made me cringe.
That's the point of it, is to make you cringe. And you already know.
Okay, one thing about the Smosh movie that many of you don't know is that I think it was Ian and Anthony's first movie, and they weren't that skilled at acting. They're good at acting, but for an entire movie, it felt more like a Smosh video that was stretched out to meet a movie. And the movie sort of has a weird plot, and it doesn't grab you as well as Ghostmates.
Ghostmates is hilarious. I only say that because, like I said, you know how what's his name died.
Yes.
What's his
Ian?
Which one? It was Ian, right? It was Ian. Ian died, and he
died in the weirdest way.
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Ian died the weirdest way because I think he opened the door and then he slipped. Did he slip on a wine bottle?
He slipped on something,
and then he had his
tie got caught on the door handle, and he strangled himself to death. And he couldn't get up because he kept slipping on wine or something like that. And
somehow the TV turned on.
And the TV got switched over to some type of porn or something like that.
And when you look at the TV, it's literally the Smosh cast. It's literally the Smosh cast, like Courtney and Keith and them reenacting the weirdest porno ever.
Oh my gosh, it was just funny. It was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Smosh the movie, the first one was what I like to call YouTube Cameo the movie, because essentially the entire movie was made to incorporate YouTube cameos. I think we had Jenna Marbles in it. We had fucking Markiplier in it. I
like Mark.
They didn't have notable star. I think PewDiePie made a cameo. I'm not sure.
You know Mark's in the hospital right now, right?
Why?
He had a blockage in his intestines, so they had an NG tube go through his nose into his stomach, and it was pumping stuff out. But this time he doesn't have to go through surgery, so go on Markiplier.
Yes, that just makes me I need to eat more healthier. I'm worried about my health, man, all the time.
Oh, I just started working out the other day. I didn't do any today, but I did the other day, and I feel sore.
Planet Fitness?
No.
What?
I've been just doing stuff with body weight, like burpees and other stuff. So.
Yeah. I am worried about my health, man. My stomach hurts all the time. But
oh yeah,
that's because I eat a lot of junk food. But anyway, yeah, no, I wish you didn't. Yeah. Anyway, now we're gonna talk about worst video game movies. And best
and best, because
and best video game movies.
We have a lot to talk about with that.
I gotta say the Mario Brothers movie is probably the worst video game movie, but
I've never seen that. If that actually exists, I've never seen that.
It exists, and
you want to know what else is
bad?
A semi-bad one.
I hope you don't say Ready Player One.
No, that one is actually really good.
Okay.
I like that one. Mortal Kombat.
That's a good one?
Not really.
Oh, no, not the Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat one. There's two. And the first one's okay. The second one is bad. I don't think you can translate Mortal Kombat into a movie unless you...
Not really. How do you translate fighting to the death between two people
Mortal Kombat
really into an actual
back
movie?
Then the Mortal Kombat movies looked like they had the budget of a peanut and a ham sandwich.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Everything looks like it's film grained, or the sets don't look... They look too green screen. Not to say that... I think if they were going to make any Mortal Kombat movie, they would have to take what the game does and actually have good actors and characters.
Right.
I think the only character I think would deserve a movie in Mortal Kombat is Johnny Cage.
Oh, yeah.
I think anybody.
I think honestly, like a backstory as to Johnny Cage would be.
I think Johnny
movie.
Cage and Sonia Blade, which is his wife, and they. I think we need actors. I think actors. I know a perfect actor and an actress that can play them. And I think the only person that I can see play him is Ryan Reynolds, because
Ryan Reynolds would do a great job at anything. He has that.
He has the wits and he has like the comedic timing that I think will be perfect for Johnny Cage. For Sonia Blade, any woman who can act can pretty much do it, but I think they will have to match the look.
I know there's quite a few out there. But I just don't remember their names. I don't memorize actor or actress names.
Because I know Ronda Rousey, who's a boxer, who does the voice of Sonya Blade. So
she actually would probably do good playing her in a movie.
She does the voice of Sonya Blade, but I can see her and maybe like Ryan Reynolds. I don't think she'd be good in a movie.
I don't know.
I see her.
It's possible.
Maybe she might, but
she might do good in that role in particular because it's a lot of fighting.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Because Ronda Rousey is big UFC.
I think if she took she's a good actor. Don't get me wrong, but if she took some acting classes a little more, I think she can actually nail the Sonya Blade role. And I think Ryan Reynolds would just be perfect for that role.
Ryan Reynolds would kick it out of the park. You already know.
Johnny Cage is essentially an actor who somehow gained this weird legendary ability, which makes him pretty much unstoppable.
The green stuff.
He's the only mortal in like Mortal Kombat capable of like pretty much destroying anything that comes his way.
Other than Cassie.
Yeah, other than
because
Cassie.
His child has that ability.
His child also has that ability, as well as she's part of the Sonya Blade, army thing. But no, I think a Mortal Kombat movie would be nice. Street Fighter movie. That's a bad one.
Is that actually a movie?
That's a movie.
Oh no.
There's a Street Fighter movie. You want to see it? You don't want to? It's bad.
That doesn't sound good. But I do want to transfer to the topic of good movies. But before we do that, oh no.
No.
Wait, is that Sylvester Stallone? Oh no, it's not.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
No.
Never mind.
Yeah. God. Don't watch the Street Fighter movie.
Anyways, so I do want to say video game movies have had a very bad rap. They've had a terrible rap because, I mean, I don't know if you've ever looked at I think MatPat actually did a film theory episode on this, but a lot of the people they make video game movies and they don't really try for them because everyone gets such big hype over them because they're such a good movie and everybody wants to go watch it.
Okay, the thing about these video game movies is that the directors who are making them, as well as these script writers, don't have any idea about the source material. So
well, not even that, but they really don't care because they know they're gonna make buttload of money on it anyways.
Because the Assassin's Creed movie, which was
Assassin's Creed wasn't that good.
I think they just took the entire aspect of Assassin's Creed, and they just put this dude in a weird I think ball or rope or whatever.
I don't know.
The appeal of Assassin's Creed is that the main actor who plays the guy who we're supposed to see through the timelines, like Desmond Miles, who's the original assassin and probably my favorite. He's not the main character. He's not the one we're supposed to focus on. What we're supposed to focus on in Assassin's Creed is the ancestor. The main character takes a backseat to the ancestor. The ancestor becomes the main actor.
Yeah. So, I do want to say though...
He's like 130, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, that's fine. We're almost done anyways. We got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So I do want to say there have been some really good ones though. And I want to... And you're probably going to hate me for this one in particular, but...
I am.
I liked the Tomb Raider movie. I thought the Tomb Raider movie was okay.
Yeah, it looks okay.
I thought it was good, personally. But then you have to take into account the biggest video game movie of the century.
Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I think what Sonic did is that it made video game movies good again.
I do think so, and I think
that and Detective Pikachu, I think those were the best video game movies.
Was hilarious because Ryan Reynolds cast as Pikachu was amazing.
I think Danny DeVito would have been a perfect for Detective Pikachu, only because I love Danny DeVito. But other than that, Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Detective Pikachu. I heard they're making a sequel, but I mean, if they were gonna make a sequel, they're gonna have to put Ryan Reynolds back into the Pikachu.
Oh, for sure.
And find a plot for that.
Yeah.
But the Sonic movie, shameless plug. My next video is on the Sonic movie.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you sure it's gonna be next video, because this is coming out probably after you release the Sonic the Hedgehog video?
Oh, you are right. Actually, I'm glad you said that, because the script is actually done for that video. My next video, when this comes out, is my top 3 Disney Channel original shows. And that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and I will say, guys, if you enjoy animation and stuff like that, go check his channel out, because he is doing pretty good on there, I'm not going to lie. Animated reviewing and stuff like that, it's actually pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah.
At the time of this video coming out, it'll probably be a week or 2 ago, but he just did a collab with another YouTuber. It was great.
I did a collab with a YouTuber
Yang Yo.
I did a collab with a YouTuber called mcburgerdeluxe, who we're supposed to have on this podcast, but he also works a morning job, which is a little hard for him to do that. But eventually we'll get him on the podcast. It's about finding a way to
One day.
One day. But yes,
we will get you McBurger Deluxe.
It was my first YouTube collab, and I think it came out good. See, I wanted to find a YouTuber who will match the energy of my videos, because my videos are all cartoony, and like I do live action shows and I do movies. And McBurger Deluxe has like the energy that I think fits for my video. I don't think I can have anybody. If I was gonna do a collab with somebody, I want somebody to match the energy of my channel.
Exactly. Like,
I'm down to earth, and I'm also like a little monotone, and I'm like a little bit goofy, but he actually fits my videos.
All of the above except for the goofy part.
Well, it's hard.
Kidding.
It's hard to write jokes when you also have to be informative, okay?
I'm kidding.
I try to write as many...
Hey, Matt Pat does it.
I try to write as many jokes as I can. Did I not make some jokes in my...
yes, you did. I'm just messing with you.
They weren't funny, but I mean, they were somewhat self-aware. I mean, I have to be informative in my videos. I'm trying to do what game theory does, and that...
You mean film theory?
Film theory does, and that I don't do many comedic moments. I like to be informative as well as comedic. Well, yeah. Whether that I don't succeed in comedic timing, I make up for it in information. And actually, great visuals.
Well said.
Okay, so, before we end it here, we gotta talk about one more topic. Best Sonic video game. Since we're on the topic of Sonic, why not talk about the best and worst Sonic video game?
You already know the worst.
Forces?
Is it 206?
Oh. Really? No, yeah, no shit is 06, but I'm like, that's like a basic response to a Sonic game. Yes, 06 is bad. But there were some
was the worst.
There are some parts in 06 that I did enjoy. I do like playing as Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, I don't think we have Shadow the Hedgehog is probably my favorite character to play as. And I do like the fact that he uses guns in the game. He uses guns, which is pretty cool.
I don't remember much about 06.
Sonic games do not have a good track record.
I used to play Sonic Rings all the time.
Yeah, Sonic Rings.
I like that one.
No, I say Sonic Rings is worse. I like Sonic Black Knight. He has a sword and stuff like that. It's actually way better.
I've never even heard of that one.
Sonic the Black Knight? It's the same as Sonic and the Secret Rings. Sonic the Black Knight. Really? You haven't heard about that one?
No. Although they used to have, they had a Sonic and a Shadow game. No, I've never.
You ever play Black Knight?
Nope. Never.
It's way better than Ring.
They used to have these two games, one for Sonic and one for Shadow on the GameCube. And what was it called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sonic and Shadow on the GameCube.
Yeah, they had two separate game discs. They had a Sonic the Hedgehog one and a Shadow the Hedgehog one.
They didn't have two separate game discs.
Yeah, they did.
That's Sonic Adventures. Sonic Adventures 2 had Sonic and Shadow, and they were like, the game disc was, yes, there's a game called Sonic Adventures 2 and Shadows in the game, and yes.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
They had one that was a blue one, and they had one that was a black and red one.
Maybe they did.
I'm telling you.
Okay, wait. Let me search it up. Might want to keep talking.
I'm telling you. They had one that was blue and one that was black and red. Because one was based around Sonic the Hedgehog and the other one was based around Shadow the Hedgehog. I know this because I played the freaking things. Come on.
No,
So, let's see. They had... See? That one and that one.
That's Shadow the Hedgehog, the video game. This is Sonic
Yeah.
Adventures 2. I think maybe they...
I had Sonic Adventures and Shadow the Hedgehog, the video game.
Okay, but they're not in the same game case. These two are...
No, I wasn't saying they were in the same game case.
Okay. Sonic...
I'm just saying, I was just remembering it because there's Sonic the Hedgehog and then there's Shadow the Hedgehog, and they had two separate game discs, and you could play on both sides of the story.
Yes. Although Sonic the Adventures 2 is like the origin to Shadow. But yeah, no, I get you. I always found Shadow to be more like Sonic. Sonic's like the Goku of the
of Sega universe.
And like Shadow's like the Vegeta of the Sega universe. Probably the best Sonic game in my opinion is Generations.
Sonic Generations?
And Colored. Sonic Colored. Those are the two best ones.
I used to play them on the DS.
Same. And the Sonic DS game.
Or not the DS, the GameCube. Or Game Boy.
I think I need to make a month where I just review Sonic games. Bad and good.
You do you, buddy. You do you.
I might have him on one of the videos. I'm still trying to incorporate him in one of my videos. It's just too much. Anyway, yes. Probably the worst Sonic game in recent that I played was Sonic Forces. I hate that. I don't like
I liked Sonic Forces. Personally, I thought it was a new breath into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, it's not.
I thought it was fun.
It was
but,
okay.
I mean, everybody has their own opinion.
Yes. Sonic Forces, well, I would admit, has good mechanics. Not even good mechanics. The story is a bit mundane in that they incorporated classic Sonic for zero reason at all. And
I don't like the character select, like how you can choose to make your own character, but other than that, I like,
At the time of that game was releasing, create your own characters were big. A lot of games did it, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the character select. I don't like the custom character for the Sonic Forces thing. I wanted to focus more on Sonic. I don't think that fits for a Sonic game. And that's just because it's a Sonic game. I want to focus on Sonic and not classic Sonic.
I agree.
It was okay in Generations, but the game mechanics in Sonic Forces, there's too many. It switches back and forth. It goes from classic stages to modern stages to custom character stages.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't like it.
It's weird. It's a little weird.
I beat the game, and I felt like it was too short. It was too short.
It was very short. It took me like 3 hours to beat the game.
Same. I beat it in one sitting, and I had it on my Nintendo Switch. And after I beat it, I'm like, I deleted it. I'm like, yeah.
I still have it on my PlayStation.
I got no reason to play it.
I have no reason to delete it.
I mean, you know what game is replayable? Sonic Adventures 2. You know why? The Chow Garden. The Chow Garden actually keeps you playing for hours. The Chow Garden's like a Neopet. You know what Neopets are? Not Neopets. Those Digimon Neopet things. I don't know. No, the Chow Garden, you can pretty much take care of like a virtual pet.
Yeah,
That's
I know what
pretty
you're
cool.
talking about.
Yeah, we're at the 15-minute mark, and he has to get a haircut. Yes.
Yeah, I got stuff I gotta do.
We live we live normal lives. YouTubers, you're just like us.
Did my GoPro shut off? I think my GoPro shut off. Alright, well, the GoPro died. That's fine. We'll probably just incorporate this little bit extra into the end of the thing, and I'll put a little text saying sorry, the camera died, but
It lasted how
it lasted all but 2 podcasts.
it autosaved, right?
Oh yeah, everything goes straight to my SD card.
Good. You're gonna have to I'm gonna have to send you the end card that I use, so that way you can have like an end card, and make sure you put text and say if you want to listen to the rest. There's an audio version. I'll link you the audio version on Anchor so people can listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was the end of the podcast.
It's gonna be a little difficult to get 2 podcasts out of this thing.
What?
This thing.
Why?
Because it just died on me.
At least it died on I don't know, whatever it died on, I think that was a good place to leave it on.
Ah, there it goes. It's up. It's awake. Kind of. It's turning on.
You're gonna have to check.
I'm gonna just make sure that it has all the footage on here. But
yes, and that was the end of the Drunk Ramen Storytime podcast. My name is Ramen. This was TY. And with that being said, please eat your vegetables. Do not eat candy, and make sure you are healthy. And
yep, I agree.
You have a good night, a good morning, and
good evening,
and a good evening. And if you're listening to this while you're working, yeah, I know you're listening to this, Ramen. You better fucking listen to this, Ramen. Get back to work. With that being said, good night.
Bye.